Hello friends! Welcome to the Kid Fable channel. Once upon a time, there was a clever fox who lived near a vineyard. One day, the fox spied a beautiful bunch of ripe grapes hanging from a vine trained along the branches of a tree. The grapes looked so delicious. They seemed ready to burst with juice, and the fox's mouth watered as he gazed longingly at them. Now, the bunch hung from a high branch, and the fox was too short to reach it, so he had to jump to get it. The first time he jumped, he missed it by a long way. Then he walked off a short distance and took a running leap at it, only to fall short once more. Again and again, he tried, but in vain. The fox was getting tired and frustrated. Finally, he sat down and looked at the grapes in disgust. "What a fool I am," he said. "Here I am wearing myself out to get a bunch of sour grapes that are not worth gaping for." Then, shaking his head, he got up and walked away very scornfully. Now, there are many who pretend to despise and belittle that which is beyond their reach. Once upon a time, a poor man lived in a village who owned a donkey. It was an ass, stubborn and slow, but it was his only means of livelihood. So he took it to the fields to graze. One day, as he was bringing his ass home, he met a rich man who was returning from a fair. The rich man, seeing that the donkey was lean and bony, said to the poor man, "Give me your donkey, and I'll give you an ass in exchange." The poor man thought to himself, "An ass is an ass. What use can I have for 2 asses?" So he agreed to the deal. They exchanged animals, and the rich man went on his way, master of 2 asses. But soon after, he came across a farmer, and seeing that the farmer needed an ass, he made a deal with him. He gave him 1 ass in exchange for 2 cows. The farmer was overjoyed to get such a fine pair of cows, and the rich man drove them home. Again, he thought to himself, 2 cows are better than 1. I have done well today. But as he was driving the cows home, he met a butcher who needed a cow for sacrifice the next day. And so the rich man gave one of the cows to the butcher and received a huge amount of money in return. He now had a pocket full of money and a contented smile on his face as he returned home. On the other hand, the poor man was having a hard time with his donkey. It wouldn't do what he wanted. It was stubborn and naughty. Seeing the poor man's plight, a young woman came up to him and said, "Why don't you bring your donkey to my father? He's a king and needs a strong ass to ride on." The poor man was overjoyed to hear this and thanked the young woman for her help. The next day, the king rode the donkey to the market, and all the people were astonished to see a king riding on a commoner's donkey. Soon, everyone began to ridicule the king. Some said, "Look at our great king. He rides on a donkey like a pauper." Others said, "It seems the king has gone bankrupt and has nothing to ride on." The king was furious and shouted, Whoever said that I am bankrupt or ridiculed me will be put to death." Everyone was silent, but the young woman said, "My lord, I believe I know why the peasants are mocking you." The king asked, "Oh, do tell me, and I shall surely reward you." She replied, "Because they do not know how strong and courageous you are. 'Cause they do not realize that you can conquer any kingdom or defeat any opponent." Then, turning to the people, she said, "Does anyone here want to bet against the king's strength and courage?" No one answered. Then the young woman said, "I will bet my life that the king is the bravest and strongest of them all." The king was pleased with her answer and rewarded her with the riches of the kingdom. So friends, never try to belittle others or what they have, for you may end up regretting it later. We hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Kid Fable channel. Thanks for watching!